What's up, guys? How's it going? So, not too long ago, I managed to find some of my old turkey hunting footage from years past, and I really wanted to finally put that out there for you to see. So, I'm trying to put together some throwback hunts. Don't know how many videos this is going to be. I'm going to try and do maybe 2 or 3, something like that. Just kind of wanted to go over some of my more interesting encounters that I've had turkey hunting. So in 2006, I got the idea that I wanted to start trying to film my turkey hunts, and I started off with one of my dad's old cameras, and it was the old cassette high 8 camera, and eventually started working my way up to a little bit better quality type cameras. I spent several years trying to get some hunts on film, and we were able to get some pretty good footage, but at the time the turkeys were so scarce that you really weren't seeing that much. But years later, I went ahead and started upgrading to a little bit better camera, and I was able to get more footage that way. Problem I've had so far with self-filming is just it gets really difficult to try and get a kill on film. So still trying to work on that, and finally got a camera that I really enjoy that's going to work well for me. So this first hunt is from 2011, and that was when I got my first bird. I went with Nana to one of their main fields on their old property. You would always see turkeys there. This was a very narrow field. It was several hundred yards long. We had decided to go and hunt one afternoon, and I was gonna set up on the ground, and Nana was actually gonna get in the shooting house and try to film me from there. But it was a situation where things kind of happened pretty fast. We had I think 4 or 5 decoys set up in this field, and I just sat out there and just called for a little bit. It really didn't take, 10 or 15 minutes, and it just so happened that there were birds in the area. No birds ever gobbled, nothing ever made a sound. It was basically just I was counting up the decoys, and all of a sudden I could see that there were a couple extra birds there. That was my first bird. I'd been hunting for several years, and really had not had success. So at that point, I just wanted to get something and get that experience. So it happened so fast that we really didn't get a whole lot of it on film. But I was glad to be able to get that experience, and it was good to be there with Nana and have her be a part of that. So it turned out to be a pretty good hunt.
They come running from right over yonder, and they run straight to that slate. They run right by those dummies, and they were standing right there. And I said, good grief, and they were all 3 together, just having a feed. And I said, if he shoots down, you get all 3 of them.
Oh, my.
And he had a tree blocking him.
Oh.
So he had to wait till they turned. When they turned, moved, come out here, then he shot. And look, you talk about a turkey that was hammered.
Yeah.
He hit the ground.
think I hear another turkey sneaking up on you there. Is that your tracking dog? What do you think about that, Leo?
Oh my goodness.
On that big tree.
That tree was in between them.
No, he was backed up against that tree.
He couldn't shoot him for the dummies, could he?
They were all three just right up on him. As soon as he hit that slate, now they just run in here like that.
Can you show me how he looked again?
How did they look at him?
And he had to wait on them to turn. And they went out in the field there and started down there, and he hit that slate again, and they turned around and come back, and that's when he shot him out there.
So the next year I graduated college and moved all the way out to New Mexico and got a job in oil and gas out there. So I really didn't have as many opportunities to come back and hunt back here in Alabama. But fortunately I did have a job that allowed me to be off for 7 days at a time, so I could come back here and be able to hunt for a little while during turkey season. So I came back that first year in 2012, and I had probably one of the most fun hunts that I've ever had. Again, this was another afternoon hunt. I'd had, you know, a little bit of success calling birds up in the morning, but then there were some days where, you know, you just go out there and you wouldn't even hear anything. So this particular time they had cut a new section of roads through their property, and there was a lot of trees that had been kind of bulldozed down, and so I was just kind of walking the roads and calling as I would go. So I went to one field and was checking, calling there, and didn't hear anything, so I started kind of making my way back to the golf cart, and I was just kind of calling as I was walking along the road. And not too long after I was headed back, all of a sudden I thought I heard a gobble, and kept on walking a little ways and kept calling, and then I heard it again. So then I started down this other road, and I was in kind of an old pine thicket, and they had a camp house that they used to use for a while, for several years on their property. And so I walked by this camp house and was just going down this, you know, clear road, and went ahead and got set up. The situation that day was I really hadn't planned on taking any decoys with me because I was trying to be mobile. So I got set up, and I thought I could hear some birds gobbling. And then I started calling where I was at, and this ended up being two jakes coming up this road, and there was a tom coming right behind them, and you could hear him gobble just, you know, real close at that point. So I was watching them, and I could see the first two come up, and, you know, zoomed in the camera real close and checked them, and they were jakes. And then I could see the tom coming up. At this point, they're so close that I didn't call. It was just, you know, stay silent and just let them come on. Well, I was hoping that they were going to come straight up this road, because it really seemed like that's what they would do. You know, really seemed to be a situation where it was just going to finally play out, and I was finally going to make this happen. turned out they went down this other road to my left, and and I don't know if it was because I had shut up at that point, was really just kind of expecting them to come straight out in front of me, and I don't know if they just thought that the hen was on down this other road, or if that was just where they were planning on going. That was a situation where I really felt like they were too far for me to shoot at that point, and really needed them to come a little bit closer. So all three of them left, and I really don't even think the tom was even out in the road at that point. I think he had gone behind some of the pines and kind of followed in behind them. So he pretty much stayed out of sight as much as he could. So they went on down this other road to the left. So at that point, I kind of let him go for a little bit, and then I got up and just kind of eased on down the side of the road, and then took the left and started just quietly trying to follow him down that road. Got down to the bottom of the hill, and all of a sudden I could see a bird just fly up, and so I knew I'd busted him at that point. Couldn't tell which bird it was, but I think it was a situation where if I had actually had a decoy out in that road at that point, I feel like at that point they would have come to it. So I know everybody's got their own opinions about decoys. Some people like them, some people just can't stand them. Some people even think it's, just cheating, basically. But I'm of the frame of mind that if there's anything that I can use legally to make sure that I have the best chance for success, I'm going to do it. Because, it's just so rare to actually get a bird in gun range, for me at least. So from that point on, I started, using decoys a whole lot more, and even though I like to be mobile, and now I've finally gotten some of the Montana decoys. Those are the ones that are just kind of, they've got some that are 3D, but most of them are just a 2D decoy. It's one of those things. Some people like the AVNX decoys. They like the bigger style. Those are great, but I'm just of the frame of mind that I want to be as mobile as I can be, and still be able to use a decoy. So that's why I kind of prefer the Montana decoys, just the ability to pack it in a vest like that. So that's what I've started using now, and I really enjoy those. I showed the footage to Pop, and he was kind of thinking it was some sort of a gobbler that was basically a boss tom that was kind of keeping the rest of the birds shut up, and that's what can happen sometimes. You can kill one turkey and turns out that he's one that's kind of pushing everybody else away and making all the other birds go silent. So you never really know. But 2011 and 2012 that was a really good year for turkey hunting. Nan and Pop had some success turkey hunting, and just we weren't able to get it on film, but we managed to have a lot of good encounters. So it was a really fun couple of years there. So I think that's going to do it for this video. We're going to try and have some more turkey hunting footage, a little bit of throwback footage, coming to you as soon as we can, and we'll catch you on the next one. So thanks for watching.